Hello friends, I am Tejpal Sheth, CS, author and academician. On the request of the several students of a CS executive, I have recorded this video and broadcasted it. Now this video guide you how to prepare the ECL, the most lengthy and complicated subject in a group 1 of an executive just in 7 days. I think still you will not believe, and you should not. But let me assure you that once you will go through the entire video, you will believe that you can do it within 7 days. But you need to follow strictly my instruction, right? And understand my plan, my methodology. Your ECL, a very complicated, divided in a 2 part. Part A, which consists of 70 marks of a weightage, and as per the module, it required the advanced level of knowledge. On the other hand, the part B consists of 30 marks and require the working level of knowledge. Right? According to my classification, the part A is having 8 total chapters, while the part B is having a total 3 and 3, 6 chapters. Right? Now, what is to be done? If you go through page by page, topic by topic, chapter by chapter, you won't be able to complete it even in 1 month. Let me tell you the plan and strategy for it. Pay the attention. First, let me tell you which chapters are very important and which topics are to be given the weightage under each and every chapter. FEMA and FCRA, right? The current account transaction, capital account transaction, FDI, foreign direct investment. FCRA is also included in a FEMA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, the definition of the foreign hospitality, and what are the procedure for the purpose of receipt of the foreign contribution. Who can accept the foreign contribution, who cannot accept the foreign contribution. These are the very important topics from the FEMA. Again, the FEMA and FCRA both are important topics. And you will find always a question from this segment. Second is a competition and consumer. Again, this is a very important chapter. Let me tell you the important topics from this chapter. Why I am telling the important chapters as well as the important topic? Because in case if you are running short of a time, you can refer the topic, right? And if you are having a little more time, you can focus on an important chapters. You can do each and everything for important chapters. Competition and consumer, anti-competitive agreements, competition appellate tribunal, rights of a consumer, consumer forum, right? At the same time, I will also incorporate some of the coding. Here, under the FEMA, there are the chances of a practical question. So I am writing the P. Whenever I write the P, practical question chances are more. Whenever I write the T, theory question are more. And some places I will write the T plus P. That means the both chances are there. Competition and consumer, there is both the chances are very high. Theory and the practical, right? Because it has been observed that from the consumer, the institute is asking and has asked in the past several times the question. Third chapter is IPR, intellectual property right. In fact, there are the 5 segments under the IPR: Trademark Act, Patent Act, Copyright Act, Design Act, and Geographical Indication. Would like to tell you to emphasis on only the trademark, copyright, and the patent, right? In case you are running out of time, short of time. And you can omit the Design Act and the Geographical Indication, right? Only the theory question, no practical question. You refer the last 10 to 20 years paper. Fourth is Arbitration Act. Chapter is not important, right? First second and third chapter are very important. Fourth chapter, arbitration, not important, right? But even though I would like to tell you which are the important topics under this chapter, because some of you may have gone through it and would like to include in his portfolio of preparation. Appointment of arbitration, procedure of appointment, challenges of award procedure, distinguish between the award and the order, etc. Right? The chapter number 5, topic number 5 is a transfer of property. Remember, this is an important chapter. Transfer of property, TP. Many students say TP is just time pass. It is not a time pass. It is a very important chapter. Right? All the doctrine, you cannot take a chance to omit a single doctrine. Doctrine and the provision with regard to the mortgage and charges are very important topics under this important chapter. Moving further is a Stamp Act. Remember, Stamp Act is not that important, right, in my classification, as per my classification, right? And however, I would like to tell you which are important topics under the Stamp Act. Impounding of a stamp, right? Impounding procedure, duly stamped and duly cancelled provision, right? Time of stamping, right? These are the important topics under the Stamp Act, right? Let me tell you again, in the arbitration, there is a chances of theory as well as the practical, right? Transfer of Property Act, there is a theory. Stamp Act, there is a theory. So I am writing the just T as per my coding. Then the contract, you can simply omit the contract, because I hope that at the graduation level, at the foundation level, you must have studied and you must have a little idea about the contract. Why to waste the time on the contract, right? So you may read anything under the contract, whatsoever you like. Anti-Money Laundering Act, right? Not an important chapter, but even though would like to tell you which are the important topics under this chapter. KYC guideline, know your customer guideline. The past question you may refer from this chapter, because there is a limited number of a question which can be designed from this chapter. And money laundering, what is a money laundering and the penalty for the purpose of money laundering, right? Or a process of money laundering, these are the important topics. Moving to the part B, right? Agle padao pe. Moving to the part B, very important and the ordinary chapter. Again, I am having the classification here. Essential commodities weight measurement, according to me, a very important chapter. Because repeatedly you will find a question from this chapter, from this area. What are the important topics under this chapter? Seizure, confiscation of the goods, right? Pre-packaged commodity, instrument, International Institute of Legal Metrology. These are the important topics under this chapter, right? Next is a Pollution and Control Act. Remember, there are the 5 different chapters under the Pollution Control Act. But I would like to suggest you that you select a question or a topic, emphasis or focus only on those topics or a question. Like here, carbon credit, a noise pollution, absolute liability principle, Ganga water case, Pollution Control Board and its power, and National Green Tribunal, right? These are the important topics under these chapters, right? This is an important topic. Essential commodity, you will find only the theory. Again, the pollution control, you will find the theory, right? Industrial Development and Regulation Act, right? In my classification, this chapter is also important because you will find at least a 1 or 2 question always from the question number 1 or a question number 5. Both are compulsory questions, right? Industrial Development and Regulation Act, procedure of a license, various kind of a license comparison, right? SME, small medium enterprises, MSME, you can say MSME also, and definition of the industry, right? Now these topics are important under these chapter, right? Then on the other hand, ordinary chapter. Remember, I am not of the opinion that you should omit any chapter, right? You should go through it. My purpose of this video is a very clear and very simple, that in the case of a shortage of a time, at the time of preparing for an exam or on a last day, you may take the help of this plan. Societies Act and Trust Act, not important in my opinion. Procedure for registration of society, various kind of a trust, the power and duties of the trust, power and duties of the beneficiary. You may read anything as you like, right? The next is a registration of a document, not important chapter. Here, in both the cases, society and trust, theory question. Registration of a document, document required to be registered, document not required to be registered, and foreign document. These are important topics from the registration of a document. Out of registration of a document, the more chances of a theory question, right? Now, you have understood which chapters are important and which topics are important. Now the real question is that, sir, you say that with this video you can help us in completing the ECL in 7 days. How? Now the real game starts. Once you have understood the important topics and important chapter, there are the two prerequisites. The prerequisite number 1, every day you will read for 8 hours and would like to bifurcate 6 plus 2 or 5 plus 3. The purpose of this classification 6 plus 2 or 5 plus 3 is that all important chapters, I said, you will complete in a 6 or 5 hours, and non-important chapter you will complete in a 2 to 3 hours, right? Now, what should be the appropriate combination, right? Let me tell you. Therefore, with the blue color of a pen, I have mentioned here, right? FEMA and FCR you will learn in a day first. On a first day, day number 1, you will learn the FEMA and FCR. I understand the FEMA is a very lengthy. In addition, there is a Foreign Contribution Regulation Act 2010. So, on a day 1, you will only learn this point number 1. Anyhow, you will complete this in 8 hours. If you will not complete, it will complete you. Number 2, competition and consumer, you will start as an important chapter on a day 2. Now, on a day 2, you will also complete the contract. So, in a 5 to 6 hours, you will complete the competition and consumer, right? And remaining 2 hours, you may complete the contract. Some may argue, said that, sir, I am not able to complete this competition and consumer in a 5 hours or 6 hours. You may add time. Instead of 8 hours, you add 2 more hours. You make it 10 hours and give 8 hours to the competition, 2 hours to the contract. Right? Number 3, IPR is very important. Number day 1, you completed the FEMA and FCR. Right? On a day 2, you completed the competition and the contract. I am just sticking down it here so that we cannot miss any one chapter. Number 3, IPR. On a day 3, you will do the IPR, Intellectual Property Right, very important chapter. And you will do the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Anti-Money Laundering Act is not important. Important chapters means from which there is a certainty and surety of asking a question. On a day 4, you will start with the Transfer of Property Act, very important chapter. And on a day 4, you will do the Society and Trust Act, right? So on a day 4, you will do the 3 chapters, out of which Society and Trust 2 are not important, right? Now the day 5, you will do the Arbitration Act. Remember, Arbitration Act in my list is not important, but On the other hand, for 6 hours you will do on a day 5 the essential commodities, weight, etc. Right. Now the day 6 you will do the Pollution Control Act, very important chapter in my list. And on a day 6 you will also do the registration of a document which is not important in my list. Last day. Right. You will do the Stamp Act which is not important in my list, but you will do the Industry Development Regulation Act which is important in my list. You can verify here we have completed the plan of 7 days of ECL. You can just check the tick out on the every chapter. Now what I am suggesting, advising to you, after watching the video, if you need, you again run it, right? Again stream it, download it on your mobile, on your computer, I don't mind it, right? And make a plan on your paper, strictly follow it, right? Then definitely you can complete the ECL in 7 days. You can contact me on my FB account, CS Tejpal Sheth. Thank you, all the best.